Testing 1, 2. Hey everybody. Hope this is coming through okay. Coming through live from Tiburon. This is the dock that goes to Angel Island, which is right across the bay there, where that boat is leaving from the ferry. The ferry's going back to San Francisco. We actually drove out here, but this is just had a little snack at the bar restaurant here. But there's an Angel Island ferry. There's the Bay Cruiser that goes back to San Francisco. There's a little yacht harbor here, and across the bay is Sausalito, which is I streamed from there last time we were here, which is a couple weeks ago. The stream is a bit choppy on Kent's show, the Spong Arms Pub, as everyone knows it. But this time I'm actually doing just a direct live stream from here, since there's no pub today. So there's a nice view of Angel Island, some condos, and some other views of Tiburon across San Francisco Bay. So I'm just going to walk around the boardwalk here a little bit. San Francisco in the distance. Can't zoom on this mode, but you can see some of the skyscrapers over there. This is the little walkway to the ferry it's taken off right there, down back to San Francisco. This goes away to the San Francisco Ferry building. And there's a little jetty here where you have, there's no beach here per se. Basically, people complain about, hey, why isn't the water clear and transparent blue and all that stuff? Well, you got algae and all kinds of biologicals in here. Lots of stirring water, lots of upwelling. There's some sand in there, but also a lot of mud and stuff. It's not like your typical beach you would have. Whereas if you go across the bay, there's a nice container ship over there going back to China, probably. In fact, one of those actually hit the Bay Bridge. Got about 10, 15 years ago. Smacked right into one of the Bay Bridge pylons. It was hilarious. Anyway, you go to Stinson Beach, across the bay, down the coastline there a little bit. Nice clear water, nice beaches and stuff like that. But this is all just, water hitting the land's edge, just rocky outcrops. Not for just lounging and enjoyment. You have the little grassways for that, grass areas and stuff. People hang out and stuff. There's a nice flotilla of, nice formation of brown pelicans in the distance there. A lot of pelicans here, some sailboats coming in here. I was going to walk down this little walkway a bit just for fun. Dogs around here. Yeah, there's a juvenile gull right there. No distinct markings, it's too young. Ah, nice pelicans coming in, look at that. And gulls fighting, as usual. Fighting over something they got, some tasty morsel. So as you know, gulls are predators. They're also scavengers. You find a lot of gulls of various species, especially herring gulls, at the garbage dumps around here. But most of them are around the sea or waterways in general, so they're not really seagulls, they're just gulls. But the common name is seagull. Yeah, if you look in a bird book, you won't see seagull. You'll see like Heermann's gull, California gull, herring gull, mew gull, Bonaparte's gull. You won't see seagull anywhere. It's just a kind of a common name based on the fact that most of them are found near the ocean. But no birder calls them seagulls. There's a double-crested cormorant floating in the water over there. It's related to pelicans. It's in the group, the order Pelicaniformes. And you see they sit kind of low in the water because they don't have a proper preening gland that most water birds have, where they can preen it and get the oil through the feathers. So after a while, they'll start to sink in the water. You see the neck sticking up. A real famous one is the anhinga down in the tropics, and it's called the snake bird because all you see is this snaky neck with a long bill poking out of the water and no body. Because after they get waterlogged, they kind of sink, and they have to actually get up on a log or a rock or something like that, stretch their wings out to dry in the sun because they don't have enough oil in their feathers to be waterproof. So cormorants have the same kind of deal. So
I don't know.
Gulls are going crazy here. Hopefully this sounds okay. There's a lot of wind here, so you might just be hearing on the microphone. There's a nice view of San Francisco across the bay. So Angel Island here. On the opposite side of it, and a little bit further in the distance, is where the Bay Bridge hits Treasure Island and Yerba Buena Island. But this is the edge of the city as it heads out toward. You can see Mount Sutro in the background there. There's a large, very spindly red and white radio tower. It's a real famous icon for some of the local TV channels use that as their icon sometimes. The big Sutro Tower on top of Mount Sutro. Not too far from there are the Sutro Baths near the coast, where you have a famous kind of a hot spring bathing area. It's not really hot springs, but the heat of the water. And then further out to the right, keep going out, past the Golden Gate Bridge, behind Sausalito here, out to the ocean itself. And you go a little bit further and you get to the Farallon Islands, which is a biologically protected preserve. Very rough landing there, and you're not supposed to be there anyway without a permit. But the breeding colonies of various animals out there, birds and mammals. Lots of whales and other marine mammals you see on the way out there. So that's San Francisco. So we'll cruise around some of these nice areas of Tiburon here, some nice condos. Nice flat top trees here. They've groomed to look like a poor man's version of an acacia tree in Africa. It's called Shoreline Park. Oops, I dropped my headset. Thing about these Apple headphones and AirPods and stuff, they're plastic. They just slip right out of your ears. So, just a lot of kelp in the water. No birds right here. Lots of sailboats out today. It's quite windy. You can see the channel marker there. It's like a combination depth gauge and mile per hour meter. You have to slow down so you can come into the harbor there. This Angel Island's kind of a fun place to walk around. It's mostly wild, as you can see. Lots of hiking trails. Not much development. You can see a couple buildings there on the right toward the water's edge. There's a big red building over there. I've hiked over there a couple times. There's some like old military barracks over there from World War II. Another nice formation of brown pelicans coming in. So yeah, there's not much to see over there other than just some nature and other views of the Bay Area. The pelicans coming in closer. Very nice. And then of course across the bay On the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, up this road, you go up to, I think it's called Hill 249 at the very end of Marin Headlands in Marin County, and it's called Hawk Hill. A lot of people stand up there to do annual bird counts of the migratory hawks and other large raptors coming through the area, as well as other birds coming through. And that's got some nice bunkers up there that were used in World War II. Some turrets that are no longer populated with guns and various things, and storage for artillery. But you can walk through the little tunnels there and stuff. One of those scenes is a very obvious, kind of a cool scene in Terminator Genesis, which is of course a terrible Terminator movie. But there's a scene where the fake John Connor comes out. He's made out of nanites essentially, and he comes out kind of on fire and then reforms as John Connor in front of the public in daylight. And he's walking out right out of one of those tunnels in the near the turrets at the top of Hawk Hill. So it's kind of a fun little tidbit there. Let's see, nice view of the area. It's a little bit like the Hollywood Hills or Sunset, above the Sunset Strip in Hollywood a little bit, like a small version of that. Pretty sleepy little area except for the tourism. Oh, there goes one of the patrol boats out there. He's going pretty fast. And what else we got here? Pretty dull in general. It's mostly locals, tourists. Some decent restaurants here. Tourist shops, all the standard crap you'd expect to find. Sausalito has the same stuff. This is just a more upscale version of Sausalito. There's a little roundabout here for you guys in the UK that like roundabouts. There's a big anchor in the middle from an old ship. Palm tree, of course. It's a pretty sure it's a Phoenix dactylifera, the Phoenix date palm. And miscellaneous stuff here. So this whole area is built up on the water. It's like a giant cement pier sticking up off the street. Nice view of a sailboat going across the tip of Angel Island right in front of San Francisco. And of course you can't see Alcatraz Island from here, the famous pelican breeding colony. As you know, Alcatraz means pelican in Spanish, but it's also famous for the prison. And Escape from Alcatraz was a classic Clint Eastwood movie, where supposedly at least one of the two of the guys supposedly survived the freezing cold swim across the bay with the makeshift raft after they put dummies in their cell and tunneled through the infrastructure of the prison to get out. It's a really crazy ass story. Pretty cool movie, but so yeah, Alcatraz is also on the other side of Angel Island. And let's take a look down the touristy areas of the town. We just had some sangria and snacks and stuff, so I'm trying to burn off some of my alcohol amount before I hit the road again. Nice pigeons. We're not going to poison these pigeons in the park, but any Tom Lehrer fan will enjoy that. So, oh, it's making noises. like it when you talk back to him. Water features over there, fountains and stuff. So this cafe used to be a really nice Baja-style Mexican restaurant. I came to many times when I used to come out here a lot, and they had wonderful little dishes and made fresh masa on premises for their tortillas and for their sweet corn cake and all that stuff. Is really tasty. But they're long gone. So here's the water feature, the little bridges. Nice little spot there to hang out. Here you get some transparency of the water, but it is very green, lots of algae. So I'm thinking before I leave town, I'm going to take some samples from my microscope channel. Lots of goodies in there. A grove of trees, again, most of them flat topped in one way or another. In case you're in and look for any strategic advisors out there, there's your place to go. Tiburon Strategic Advisors. Of course, as you know, if you know Spanish at all, Tiburon means shark in Spanish. Never seen a shark here, but apparently when they named this place, they found some sharks. And a hillside with some quirky buildings. Some have dome tops, some are little skinny, colorful structures. A fun little place, kitschy, but also expensive. And the crosswalks are huge. Then they have this funny little fountainy thing here with an art sculpture that makes this air gap noise. It's very rhythmic. Where we had a little snack and some sangria. Malibu Farm, nice little place. Had some stuff catering to my taste, some vegetarian options and stuff. There's a pizza place. Got some bar restaurants down here. There you go, Shark Town Love, Tiburon. Cute little stuffed animal. Oh, some Jack Kerouac quotes here, of course. Since he was San Francisco famous. Main Street Mercantile. There's some boutiques here that are conspicuously closed. This Water's Edge Hotel. Several little hotels around here that are very kind of minimal and probably quite expensive. More boutiques. Movement. Sam's Anchor Cafe. I can smell the seafood from here. Knit House. There's Lil Sam's Market. That's kind of quaint, touristy, fun little town. There's the knit house. That's if you want to imagine your baby without a head. There's some.
And the red, it's the driver, it's everything.
There's some video there. This little wine bar.
I even looked up, I remember when I went online and I was like...
Salt and Pepper Cafe. Luna Blue. Tiburon Playhouse. Tiburon Depot. Information and Goods. Welcome Center. I see you guys chatting, but sorry, it's coming by so fast I can't reply. Little doggy. This Tanoshi Sushi. Tanoshi is Japanese for fun or amusing, at least as far as I learned it when I was in Japan. So that's amusing sushi. There's a fancy, boring law firm office, pretty old building. And what's over here? Parking lot, looks like. Other side of the harbor. Again, it's pretty small around here. There's not a lot of stuff in downtown. There's more stuff that way. Kind of laid out like Sausalito was. Just kind of a mirror image of it. And who knows better about haute living than John Legend? God, look at these covers. Holy smokes. I'm gonna have to pick one up now. It's super cheesy. It's a good one. Legends and Leaders. Let's get the holiday issue just for kicks. Nice old-timey light fixture. Fancy stairwell. There's Luna Blue again. Again, you can smell the seafood from here. Not my style. There's Little Sam's. Sam's Anchor Cafe. Sam's Restaurant. Bar seated in there. It's swinging doors, old-fashioned style. There's the hotel again. There's a view across the way where I came from before. Come up the street. Quaint little buildings. There's this line for the Angel Island Tiburon Ferry. Boutiques. This is the shopping lane, in case you didn't notice. Pizza place. Here's the restaurant. That's where I came from, Malibu Farm. There's a candy store on Main Street. I have to go in here and get some inappropriate snacks for later. I should be a good boy, but I might have to buy something in here. And this place I came around the corner before. Gelato, lattes, etc., etc. Nice old-timey clock there. And back to the hillside. They've got the little directional signs here. Shoreline Park, ferry docks. History on the Tiburon Peninsula. I'm going to freeze frame this later and read it. Oh, there's a merchant map, so in case you're just desperate to get to a place, like Sam's Cafe or whatever, then you got to find it there. And welcome to Tiburon, or Tiburon. All right then. Yeah, nice homes on the hills. I actually knew somebody who lived up here. She used to work at the company that I was just riffed from recently when I first worked there. Sales lady who was way up in it. She actually married the VP and moved out here. So it's very nice housing out here. Lots of money, lots of flash and pizzazz. And hey, she deserved it. She was a nice lady, very talented in her career. She was also very cute. There's that art feature again. Looks like a series of sails, almost like a mini Sydney Opera House. We'll go back to the lapping waters of the sail fountain here. Have to sample that and make something out of that. It's funny because it's periodic, so they got a vice grip stuck in there. That's very classy. Look at that vice grip in there. All right, well, not a whole lot to see right here. Some more buildings up in the hills. I won't bore you with re-showing you stuff you've already seen. So I'm gonna go back and join her in the restaurant. I think she's still there. I wanted to give you guys, I was kind of bored sitting there. I wanted to give you guys something to look at. A little piece of the Bay Area most people probably haven't seen or heard of. Tiburon. Right across the water from Sausalito, way across the water from San Francisco, all part of the San Francisco Bay. And this concludes your half-assed tour of Tiburon. So thanks for joining, guys, and I'll go back and watch the chat later. I'm sure you left some amusing comments, which I definitely appreciate, because it's boring as hell to make these and have no comments or audience or even wisecracks whatsoever. So everything's appreciated and enjoyed. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you soon. Peace out.